All right, hey, what's up, guys? Doing something I've never done before, and that is a product review. As you can see, I've got some jingly things sitting on this table. Um, Super cool products from this company called Stack Ring. They're super sick. They take old, cracked cymbals and repurpose them and give them another life and another purpose. Um, which I've seen people do before, and maybe you have as well. There's tons of videos online of how to do this yourself. Um, but if you're not a good handyman or you don't have the proper tools, this company makes these, and I think they're great quality. I've seen people make stuff like this before, cutting old cymbals, and they don't file these edges down right, or they're wonky shapes, and they'll cut you, and it's just not very fun. I totally support making your own stuff. I'm a handyman, but this company really takes it over the top. They really know what they're doing. So we'll start with a couple of these products. We'll start with these like kind of cymbal sizzle kind of world. This one's actually one of my favorites right now. This was a freebie that Tim had sent me, and it's called the Cymbal Gate. It is kind of like a regular cymbal sizzle. It's got a little tambourine jingle on it that gives it a little bit more high frequency stuff. But I like that the chains are super short. And it only sits about right here when you put it on. And as you drummers know, most of the cymbals, or all cymbals, the most movement you're gonna get after hitting it is gonna be on the edge. The very edge of the cymbal is where you get the most resonance. And so this sits, at least on this cymbal, way above that. So the sizzle doesn't take over the cymbal sound. So here's it on its own. Lots and lots of bottom end. This is a 24-inch HH Sabian King ride. I love this thing. This thing's super cool. I got it a couple years ago. It's not great for all styles. It does have kind of a specific sound. It's got a lot of articulation and a lot of low end. But yeah, I use this thing all the time in small groups. If I'm trying to play a rock gig or something where I gotta hit hard and those cymbals need to cut, it's not the one for it. But any kind of like jazz combo or soft playing, the cymbal's amazing. So here's what is this called again? The chain gate. The chain gate on this 24-inch. You can see it stops. The sizzle doesn't keep going because it doesn't go all the edge. And that's why they call it the sizzle gate, because it puts a ceiling on how much this can ring, which I think is super cool. I've actually never had a chain like this. I usually go for a lot of sizzle because I like that little soft, glittery sustain, especially on these bigger cymbals. So this next one is their regular stack ring is what they call it. This one's cool. It's a little darker because it has two chunks of old cymbals, two different sizes thrown on there. You can hear the difference like that. It's a lot lighter, a lot more playful, high-pitched. This is darker, a little heavier. And this one has a tambourine jingle, and then this is an old bottle cap that they just punched a hole through. So one thing that I really like that they do, I've seen other companies make cymbal sizzles, and you have to unscrew the wing nut on the cymbal stand to get it on, which can kind of be a hassle if you change your sound from song to song. Or even within a song, you know, you get to the B section, you get to verse 2, and you're like, cool, I want a little sizzle on this. You can have this right next to you on a stand or in your bag, and it's got such a big ring on it. Of course, I miss it that time. But you can just throw it on there and take it off with ease. I really like that. Super easy. Let me pick up this crunch ring. So yeah, let's put this one back on. There's still a little bit of high end like this one because of that jingle, but you know, you can modify these and you can take them out and you can make it even darker if you wanted, added more pieces. Love this thing. Stack ring, sizzle gate. Okay, so the third little cymbal modification they have is something I've never seen a company do before. This is called the bell sizzle, and as you can see, it's got the base of it is the bell from it. Looks like maybe a Wuhan larger China cymbal. So it's got 2 strands of metal pieces going off. Some of these look like some nice alloy. I don't know what it was before. This was obviously a B8 cymbal, which is cool. They have a variety of metal sounds. It's not all the same. So you get a lot of different color from these things. And something that's cool about these bell sizzles is it kind of acts as a gate as well, or a dampener. You can really screw down this little attachment and you can take some life out of the cymbal if you're looking for it. So this is it pretty loose right now. You can already tell there's so much more weight holding it down. They don't ring as much as this one. And then you can take this wing nut and really put that baby down. You can see it's holding this cymbal down. Doesn't have that much room to go, which you could do, you know, with some regular wing nuts. These Tama stands have these little plastic circles, and it doesn't hold it enough. But there's such a larger diameter on this bell in comparison to you know, a regular felt attachment. But you can really clamp this down. And since the cymbal isn't moving too much, you know, obviously if you're whacking away at this, you might do some damage to the bell of your cymbal by putting another piece of metal rubbing on it. But usually with this cymbal, I'm not playing that hard. I like that it's got that dirty little wobble. That little grit at the bottom. I think it's coming from, it's probably the B8, this little B8 chunk. This thing's super cool. I've never seen anybody make something like this. So of course I talked to them. I was like, I gotta try that thing out. Very cool. And another thing about this company that I like is because they're made out of recycled cymbals, you know, their materials are going to change depending on what they have, you know. So some of these, they have different pictures. You can have a China bell, or they'll sometimes have a regular bowl bell as well. So that's going to change the way it's going to react to it. So I'm sure you could probably, if you have a preference, you could probably email them and ask, you know, tell them specifically, I want one with a China. Because otherwise, it seems like it's kind of like Christmas, you know? You don't know exactly what you're going to get. You just order one of these, and all these attachments might be a little different. For the most part, it's probably going to have some chunks of cymbal. It's going to have some tambourine jingles or whatever, but the order might change. So I'm sure you can specifically ask if you have one, you know, for sure want to do, but it's such a crazy product. I was like, just give me what you got. Let's see what it is. So this is called the Bell Sizzle. And then the last product that I had gotten from them is really cool. I've seen people use stuff like this. I think Jojo Mayer has another product through Sabian that's kind of the same thing, but it's a little different. So this is called their Crunch Ring, and it's just an old cymbal. They cut the edge out. They may have cut this little small out. Maybe the cymbal was out here and had a crack. So they're just saving as much as of the metal as they can. And this is the large Crunch Ring. They come in 3 different sizes. I originally had this in mind for putting it on my snare drum or my floor tom, so I wanted the small one. And this right here is a 15-inch drum, and I think this is like maybe an 11.5 or a 12-inch Crunch Ring. It's got to be 12 because it sits on my 12-inch tom perfectly, or maybe it's 11.5. So, but I'm gonna put it on this 5x15 5-ply maple independent drum lab snare drum. I got this when I was in PASIC. I went to their booth and it was a company I'd never seen before and immediately fell in love with it. These drums are awesome. Go check them out. They've got such unique finishes and they do such thin shells. It's 5 plies, but they're really smacked together. And you can just get this awesome open sound out of them. So here's this drum on its own. Love this drum, all that overtone. I was talking to a good friend of mine, and JT O'Neill last night, and we're talking about how personal drums are, and he tends to mute his drums a lot, and I usually kind of go for the wide open sound. I love all that overtone. Super into it. So here, I'm gonna throw this large Crunch Ring on here. Deadens it a lot. I like that. So there's a little bit of muffling going on there too. And then you have a little bit of jingle sparkle. Super cool. So yeah, it creates another rim shot situation here. You have another surface where you can hit the rim and the head at the same time. If you're a heavy hitter and you like doing rim shots and you're going to be doing those a lot, I would recommend maybe getting some gaff tape or something and laying this down, because if you do shot it, especially on a big drum like this, it's going to move around. Cool, but I really like that the sizzles don't overtake it too much if you just hit it dead in the center. Just adds a little bit more color and grit to it. These things also sound super awesome on floor toms. That's been one of my favorite places to put it so far. That, or you can throw it on top of your hi-hat, and it's going to add a little bit more jingle with your foot and with your hand. Same thing though. Depending on how you want it, it could be this large one will kind of fall off to the side and make the hi-hat feel a little strange. Or you can tape it down. Or what you could do is buy their other product that's a smaller ring. It'll be something like this, and it sits right above the bell of your hi-hat, and it's not going to move around. It sounds awesome. I'm probably going to get one of those at some point. Really like it. You can obviously throw this on a cymbal too. That one's got a very dramatic sound. Same thing. You can also strike the ring itself, and you can play with the rhythms there. Super cool. I love this product. This was definitely one of the ones that I went in first knowing like I'm gonna buy this product. So Stack Ring, thank you so much for sending me this stuff. I really support what you guys are doing. Keep up the good work. I can't wait to see what other stuff y'all do. Actually, I forgot to mention another cool thing that I've seen them do is they will modify cymbals that are not cracked as well. If you have a pesky cymbal, maybe you bought on impulse, or like me, or you know, I got them when I was younger, and didn't have a as developed ear as I do now, and I got a cymbal that I don't really like, and there's something wrong with it. You can send them in, and they can rework them. They can put them on a lathe and shave them down, and you can specifically give them a frequency that like you're hearing. It's like, oh, this cymbal doesn't have enough wash to it, or it's got this pesky overtone that seems to overshadow everything. And those guys are really talented. They put videos on their Instagram all the time of before and after of these cymbal modifications. Really talented cymbal smiths, man. They're super cool. I actually have it's a 20-inch K left side ride that's just way thicker than I've ever seen them go, and I'm just really not happy with the way it sounds, and I know they can sound really cool. So Stack Ring, you might be getting an email from me soon about sending you that cymbal and taking some layers off and making that thing more enjoyable for me. So this is another product. This is not actually a Stack Ring product, but they have an identical one. They're little Indian gongaroo bells. I had gotten these years ago from a friend of mine. Real hype, you know, I think it's 100 count. But they make these products as well, and they make them in their own shop. So yeah, check that out. Here's a little Stack Ring I had made years ago. You can tell this is nowhere near the same quality as these jingles here. It's just made out of rope and little crappy. I mean, listen to these bells, and then yeah, it's whatever. I'll throw this on a snare drum every now and then. So, but anyways, don't make it yourself. It's not going to be as good as this company, and they're very, very reasonable prices. So yeah, check out Stack Ring. They're super cool. Thank you guys so much for sending me this stuff, and I'm looking forward to trying some more products from you.